You ready?
All right. In 3,
2,
1.
Let's talk a little bit about the current market and what's changed since we've talked last time.
Well, I mean, I feel like this is a good representation of what's going on right now, right? I mean, we're going down this course, and everything's feeling it's going smooth.
Yeah, it is.
And then, boom, you hit a bump.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you don't know when it's coming because sometimes these car paths aren't real smooth.
Exactly. So I think that's kind of what's good about what we're doing here. We're going to talk about that. And here we go. And honestly, I'm really impressed. I didn't believe this was actual grass. And maybe I'm a little bit
Jeremy's not really a golfer. He feels like grass that's cut short is fake, but it's called a golf course. Let's get to the point here, and let's talk a little bit about things have changed a little bit since we talked last. Rates have gone up, the market has cooled, and we're trying to figure out, why and what is the sentiment of consumers right now? What is spooking them so much that just makes them, when they see headlines about rates going up, why do we just see that things just stop?
You know what? I had this client message me because we sent out these mailers, and they bought a house a year ago, and they didn't want to buy a year ago because they're like, you know what? I'm going to wait for rates to drop. I'm going to wait for prices to drop. I'm going to deal with stuff. But then they found the house, and they bought the home, and it was a year ago. And I think it kind of got us talking, right? And we're like, okay, what was the prices a year ago? What was the rates a year ago?
Yeah.
And what does that compare where we are now, right?
Yep.
And I think before we go into this, let's pause right here.
Pausing.
Because we have a martini we still got to talk about.
We haven't even started
We
that.
haven't started that. That's the biggest thing.
That's how the show started. Here you go. We have them in plastic cups because we're out in the golf cart today.
They don't allow glass.
Cheers. Here's the thing. Much better than anything you and I ever make.
I had a pit in that one, but it was pretty good.
Sorry, but otherwise, it's a solid martini here at the Gig Harbor Golf Club.
It's really good. I mean, I'm really surprised by how good that is.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my man Nolan.
That's okay. Yes, you did a good job.
Yep, Nolan can make a mean martini. So Nolan, great job.
Good job, man. Okay, so now we're talking about this, right? And we're looking at the numbers. We're looking at the interest rates, and I was actually super shocked because prices exactly today, April 24th versus April 24th last year, we're up 10%, 9.8%, 10%.
9.8% in appreciation.
In appreciation.
Okay.
So from what the home was sold for back then for what it is now, up 10%.
So you bought a house last year for $600,000.
Yep.
Today it's worth $660,000.
Yes. And obviously this is the average, all of Pierce County, but still 10%. So back then,
what was the rate?
The rate, it was just above. It was like 7.14 is what I found, and right now we're at 7.38.
So wait, I have a question. So a year ago, I was like, hey, I'm going to wait because I don't like these rates. And what you're telling me is, over the last year, not only have rates not dropped, they're actually higher.
Yep.
And I lost out on $60,000 in appreciation.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Why did I do that?
That was their whole point, is they were saying thank you because they actually bought instead of waiting, because now the home they would want would be a lot higher.
Yeah.
10% higher.
Yeah.
The rate would be higher. And I think you did the math on it. What was it? It was like...
It was close to $500 a month that you have lost out on by waiting an additional year. Because you were waiting for the rate to go down, but while you did that, the rate went up, and you lost out on the appreciation of $60,000.
That's what I was going to say. It's $60,000 of appreciation. That's crazy. So now, let's use those numbers, and let's go now a year from now. So for you buyers that want to wait because you're like, you know what? I think prices are going to drop. I think rates will drop. We'll see.
I do. But listen, let me back up for 1 second. I'm not sitting here and saying that, what you thought, and maybe you thought this was going to be the case, because frankly, a lot of us did. We all thought that the rates were going to be down, later. What we didn't maybe realize was that I for one, would say that I was not one that thought rates would be higher.
No.
And I also, the fact that we lost out on 10%, like, that's a big deal. And so
that blew my mind when I saw that.
I think it kind of backfired on everybody. You know what I mean?
I feel like, I don't want to go the whole government thing, but they're moving the goalpost.
Yeah.
And the goalpost has moved. And I think, are you guys going to work with that goalpost, or do you guys want to just go with it? You guys going to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to wait again now next year, and then wait for that next 10%. So now you're at $120,000 you lost on, while the rates continuously go up.
And we did actually do the math on that too, in that, let's just say I was being very generous, and I figured that if rates went to 6.25% a year from now, so
if they dropped,
so a pretty significant drop, a full % drop a year from now, but you still carried on with that same 10%, you still were $500 higher than what you could have been last year.
Yes.
So either way, you're still missing out.
I was going to say also, let's be real. If rates drop, it's going to be that was a big bump. Kind of like a rates dropping. It's going to be more than a 10% increase. Statistically, it's about 20%. So,
and I think the part that people still are missing is that inventory is still low.
It's really low.
If what you're thinking about is that, hey, rates are up, nobody's buying houses, so why don't I just wait, because I'm going to get a steal of a deal soon. If you have a house that's priced right, and you know this better than I do,
yep.
If it's priced right, how long is it taking to sell?
It's about 7 days.
And how many offers are you getting?
The last one we had about 5 offers, and we had a shorten our review date by 3 days.
Okay, so what you're saying is people that want to buy houses are out there picking up the house that maybe you should have bought.
They are still out there, and I think what I like to say, and I know some people don't want to hear it, but sometimes the best deal is getting the house now. Yeah,
well, we talked about a little bit too. One other thing we were going to talk about a little bit today was, where I'm at now, I've got a program that can be helpful, and so let's go back and talk a little bit about why aren't you buying a house? Well, maybe you're not buying a house because it's too expensive. Fair enough, it is expensive. It's really expensive.
Or it's a house I like, but it needs some work.
And that's the key. So maybe you need to change looking for your dream house into trying to find what's going to be the best financial move for you, and what that could be is you buy a house that's the best priced house in the neighborhood. And why? Because it needs work.
Yes, and then you're going to be able to fix that home and then get the equity out of it.
Yeah.
And then so let's say you buy a home for $500,000. It's hard to find. But let's say you buy a home for $500,000. Mm-hmm. Let's say you go get, with your loan where you can go get $200,000 to go fix it up. You get the bathrooms, the kitchens, the walls open. You get it the way you want to do it, right? So now you're at what, $700,000?
Yeah.
But now you go in that neighborhood, and those homes that you want to buy that are turnkey are about maybe $750, $800.
Yeah.
But now you're at $700. You're already $100,000 less than you would have bought that home for, and you're getting it the way you want to buy the home for.
Yeah, so I think one of the keys right now in this market is you got to get creative, and one of the ways you can get creative right now, let's look for. And right now, just by the way, we've kind of come off the beaten path here on the golf course.
I was wondering where we're at. I thought that, again, we were going in this whole.
Jeremy's never been here, and he's like, "Where are you taking me?" But I know the back roads, and I was trying to stay away from the golfers because A, I don't want to get hit by a ball, and B, they're like, "Who are you, and why are you here?" So you have to get creative, and one of the ways you can get creative right now is let's look for a house that needs work.
Yeah.
Let's find a cheaper house, one that perhaps you don't even want, but you know what?
The bones are good.
It needs some work, and here's the deal. We can finance the house, and the day after, there's no waiting requirement. The day after, we can go in and do a renovation project for you.
And guess what? I have a contractor.
You got a contractor. I can do the it's like there's so many people that can make this happen for you. I've got a program that will work.
All you gotta do is sit back and relax, and we got you.
You just hang in there. We're gonna take care of it for you.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that's kind of all we want to really go over. We just want to let you guys know this is kind of a crazy market. We're up 10% on the volume, which is bananas.
Yeah.
You know, everyone thought it was going to go lower. Rates are still kind of high. We hope to go lower. I think they keep moving that goalpost. So what do you got to do? You got to be smart and savvy with it. And it is just finding yourself a good team, and that's where we are. You know, we're here for that.
Yeah, reach out to us. You know, the thing is, sometimes you got to do things that are going against the grain. Like, a lot of people wouldn't do their show in a golf cart, driving around a golf course while people are playing golf, looking at you like, why are you here?
Hey,
but here we are at the beautiful Gig Harbor Golf and Country Club. Jeremy's first visit here, by the way.
I might join. I don't even golf, but I might try to figure out a golf.
I'm trying to figure out a way to get this guy to start golfing. I am going to show, before we finish, I'm going to show him when you tee off on this particular hole. As you come down here, some guys can hit the ball really far. And so you don't want to hit somebody with the ball. So when you're clear of this area, this is how we're going to end the show today.
Is it this right here?
Yeah. You swing it, and then you ring it. So you swing it,